There we are. Greetings, dear ones, and my apologies for changing of time, etc. Normally, we're here at 1:30 every Friday, and today I had some things to take care of that could not wait. So I am very grateful if you're here, and if you're listening later, please know that everything is in perfect alignment, of course, and moreover, that the particular configurations of not only our cosmic but our planetary and our day to day mundane webs are all perfectly interwoven for this particular moment in time. Whenever you listen to this, please know that that's the fascination with the cosmic web, nature's web, the human web, and the interrelatedness and interconnectedness and interdependency, and the constant threads that are being adjusted and moved in countless ways to be able to arrange for our optimum opportunities and potentials. I see that so often with clients that, they have encounters with people, whether it's spouse, siblings, work, what have you. And that is the piece that we end up working with, because that is what their people and the universe arranged to catalyze and bring forward a very specific, very focused aspect of an issue. So it's not just an issue, but what particular facet of that wound, of that piece, your soul wants you to work with right now. And those of you who have participated in any workshops, worked with me one on one, listened to any of these videos for the past 5 years or so, know that for me in this work that is so strongly based in Jungian psychology, that it is very transpersonal. What we are seeing on a national stage, a global stage, an intergalactic stage, a nature stage, is directly reflective of our individual collective consciousness theme at that moment. So this is why when working with clients, and my clients are pretty generally rather advanced seekers, healers, therapists, coaches, professionals of all sorts, visionaries, artists, that are on a very soul-based, large project path. So suffice to say that generally, if you're on this planet right now, you have a vested interest in this project, this Earth project, and more than likely you have been here multiple times working with different angles of a particular piece or two, and have reached a point with this lifetime where you now want to, or have the opportunity, should we have chosen this evolutionary leap at this to this extent, to be able to really take those projects and elevate them to a wholly new soul exploration level, or perhaps to, put a bow on it, been there, done that, explored from every angle, want to move on to something else. or you're writing a soul thesis, so to speak, in it and receiving a doctorate. Suffice to say that we are not only experts in this earth project, but we have individual expertise in very unique and yet at the same time universal soul aspects. So as individuations of the one, you have broken off from that or separated from that ocean of one to be an individual drop to explore throughout many, many existences. And again, remember when we're talking about these levels of soul or beyond this third dimension, time is not linear. So you are concurrently exploring and giving or allowing, or let's say can access the potential for interchange of information from the you that is here and the you that is exploring in other existences, not only in humanoid form, but in whatever form. Perhaps you're exploring freedom, and in another existence, you are in a gaseous state. Perhaps you are exploring freedom, and in another existence, you are enslaved. Perhaps in another existence, you're exploring freedom from the enslaver perspective. So, if you're here and you are actually working to complete one of these soul projects I mentioned, you have looked at it or are looking at it from all different angles. And that allows you to have an experience, or allows you to, how do they want to say this? Allows you to achieve or reach or experience a breadth and width of yourself as a soul in a very limiting, very confining, very restrictive dimension simultaneously. Which means, and many people speak about this, being a multidimensional being. Well, that's all fine and good, and I teach psychonavigation, and as a matter of fact, in the fall, I will be teaching a course in psychonavigation, which means not using your imagination or your third eye or your mind's eye to be able to have an experience, or to visualize something like through guided meditation, but in fact to experience and learn how to utilize structures within your energy field and truly travel. When you are attending these or listening to these videos, when I am transmitting the energetics from all the different helpers and energetics that are involved at this particular moment, and helping you or teaching you or facilitating for you to go down and within, it is for you to be able to learn how to be within your own inner verse, which is an entire universe within itself, and you are able to travel to other dimensions, worlds, realms, kingdoms, or another way to say that is to receive the transmission from those places to benefit you while you're in deeply within you. So it's kind of going into your inner verse to go out to the universe, and your soul knows exactly where you need to be located for your optimum reception of this confluence of energetics and helpers who are assisting humanity at that particular moment to work with an aspect of our psycho-emotional and physio-energetic beings. Another way of saying that is there is always a collective consciousness theme ongoing. It changes every 10 days, 2 weeks, in my experience. I used to call it the lesson du jour many, many years ago, but it really is the aspect of humanity, human nature, that is up at the moment to be transfigured, transmuted. And, or, if you're working on a kind of more less advanced level, transformed. All good, no right, no wrong, no best, no worst. There really are no hierarchies. And if you've listened to my work before, it's always an attempt to break down those hierarchies, because those hierarchies keep us separate from one another. Because there's always a better and always a lesser, and that creates separation in and of itself. There's so many different ways that hierarchies create separation. And so when you are exploring very deeply within you, and that's what we do in sessions, this week I have clients who, because we're being catalyzed to such a massive degree with what is going on in our nation and our world, the level to which that piece that I just mentioned of human nature can be explored is very, very deep at this point. This is not levels that you can learn and cognitively become aware of and then adjust your behavior and call it quits. Not anymore. We are in much too accelerated a state, and we are thereby thereby necessitating the depth within. And people believe they've, worked with pieces, with issues over and over, wounds, but this calls for for places within that you are simply not able to go alone. Not because you don't have the capacity, but because there is a fail-safe within your system to not allow you to go into those places and potentially get lost. That's why, as a shamaness, I am able to walk with and never let go of you on all of your levels when we are down in those internal hells. And they are. I know that sounds radical, but look around. We have examples of hell realms still on this planet in this day and age. And by hell realms, I mean the horrors that can be done from one human to another, the horrors that can be done from humans to the earth, the horrors, it's hard to believe, the horrors that we do unto ourselves and our own bodies, our own psyches, our own internal beingness. And the reasons we do that personally, why we cause ourselves harm in countless ways, is generally because those people that are turning that harm within are here on a creative basis. They are here to explore in a productive way, let's say. Whereas there are others here exploring in extremely destructive methods or through extremely destructive methods. Certainly, we're seeing that all over the world. Whether it's an individual leader and the massive destruction that he causes in, to his people, to his land, to the world, or whether it is individuals causing harm, such as, these thugs that are posing as ICE agents and kidnapping and putting people in concentration camps. Once again, here we are. Or whether it is a parent harming a child, or just you can look around very easily and find thousands of examples of hell realms. That's not the same as causing, harm at other levels. Hell realms are just this level of cruelty, the pleasure in inflicting pain and fear and destruction. And we all have that within us. Do not be mistaken. We all have that aspect of human nature within us. It has been named many things in different disciplines, but it is our own negative pleasure. And we may not do so on a scale of a country or to a particular race, but I guarantee you, when you begin to really work with these aspects of you at this level, you will find maybe it's in a way towards insects, maybe it's in a way towards an aspect of land. Everyone wants their little picture perfect yard, and that's destructive to the land and the soil and the microbes and the insects and the other beings, nature beings that depend on that. So trust me, we do all have this within us, which is the exact point. When one of those destructive aspects or extremely low base primal aspects are being presented in our world, in our nation, in our communities, it is an opportunity. It is not anything else. It is not a punishment. It is not we are not victims in any way, shape, or form. We called this in. We chose as divine expressions of the One to explore, to experience the fullest spectrum of an experience, so that the One then is more. So in these opportunities being catalyzed by what's going on in our country, in our world, etc., gives us, there's an exact reflection of that peace within your own life, within your own being, within your own psycho-emotional structure. And when we use those as opportunities, at this point in time, because of the acceleration, we have the opportunity to go to those depths that I'm speaking about. Not everyone, and not everyone chooses as souls, and not everyone should. But those that know, I have been looking at this, I have been working on this, and here it is again, and it's here to an extent this time that I can't go any further. This is my wall. whether it's health, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's career related. We have come, each of us, to a wall. And that wall is because of the acceleration, and because you are an advanced soul and you have chosen to work this at a depth that you never have before. And that, to me, I believe, is why the process I do with clients was created. And I do say was created because this was not something that I sat down and laid out. It was created over decades, and it does allow for the bypassing of the brain, which is where the defense system lives, which will do anything and everything to keep you from going to those depths, because in those depths there is depth of feeling, emotional, physical, energetic feelings that were way too large, complex, overwhelming, all-consuming to the child. And therefore the defense system created means by which that child did not have to feel it again and again and again and again, because it was not going to stop. The parent is the parent. The child is stuck in that world for 15, 18 years. And so your defense system came up with ways to not feel the full impact of that every single time. Now, thereafter, as you got smarter, you came to have more tools. You came to learn more. You came to potentially be catalyzed, and then it built a better means, a better tool, a better method, and expanded that defense system to the extremely sophisticated, complex, adaptogenic, flexible, spontaneous in the moment system. The problem is that it does not know that you are no longer 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And it is protecting a child from having to feel that which was too great for them. But these opportunities that keep spinning around are to give you, the adult, an enough catalyst, enough triggering to cause you to go in as deep as possible. And as I said, that's why the process that I do with clients was created, to be able to go to depths that you cannot go alone because of that fail-safe I mentioned. So if you find yourself at one of those walls, you're a master, you're a teacher, you're a healer, you're a therapist, you've done the things, you've gone to the workshops, you've read the books, you've applied the tools, and there is this wall showing up. I am happy to hop on a call with you, a mini session, 30, 45 minutes, to bring a little bit of opening to that wall and see if it benefits you to continue with this depth of process that will bring you through, if and when you choose and you have the courage, and together we create the strength. You have the strength within you as it is, because you are here and you are calling this forth. Now, back to this week. As a result of that defense system and the intense triggering that is going on, clients, colleagues, friends have been encountering this digging in of heels, even though the part of them that knows this must be done, and their wider self, soul self, is leading, guiding, giving the opportunities, arranging things for this to happen. The defense system is not only being highly activated and utilizing everything it can, but we're tapping into fears. These are very deep unconscious and subconscious fears of, if I allow myself to feel X, then Y might happen. And even deeper depths of, again, completely unconscious. If I go in and feel this and change it, transfigure it that deeply, and again, remember, this is not conscious, then I will lose the opportunity of what I want and need to happen from that particular source. This is why we stay in jobs that are painful. This is why we stay in relationships that are abusive. This is why we continue to do things to ourselves in our own life. Addictions, habits, not making the changes. It is strange that we would harm ourselves in this way, but as I mentioned earlier, those people that are here with creative hearts, and by creative I mean they want to create something new, both for themselves and as kind of a side effect, it also interfaces with the creation of this new earth in a new way, because we cannot go into the future with all of the incredible innovations that we have at our fingertips in this very moment if we are also continuing to perpetuate hell realm actions, hell realm choices upon another, the earth, ourselves, our children. So that's a kind of wide ranging to let you know that if you're finding yourself angry at yourself for not blank, please know that it is your defense system thinking that it is the best way to protect that child. And meanwhile, your soul is pulling you forward, leading you forward. Your helpers and the universe is laying out all of the constructs necessary and catalysts to give you the opportunity to go to these depths that only very few humans throughout history have been able to do compared to the larger population. And I share that with you because that illustrates, hopefully, the extent of the web and the interconnectedness between this cosmic web that is the universe's process of not only kind of holding itself together and being able to make the movements and the adjustments and the changes and the expansions and the collapsing of different aspects of the universe, and daily astronomy and physics and other sciences, cosmology, are finding information and discovering information and aspects of our universe. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but this past week there was a discovery of the actual size of the universe. I mean, come on, we are able to measure the size of the universe. This coincides with our interfacing with the universe's evolution, which is interfacing with the intergalactic evolution, which is interfacing with the galactic evolution, which is interfacing with our particular planet, as you've heard me mention this before, as the game board. Because we are not just humans, as I mentioned earlier. We are concurrently existing in many other places, many other worlds, many other forms. And as you, as a human, individual human, work in the deeper and deeper and deeper places of you, you are widening your web as a multi-existential being, presencing yourself in human form with all the confines, restrictions, and limitations, as I said, of this dimension, and still being able to incorporate the knowledge, gifts, talents, abilities from these other existences to actually not imagine, not envision, but to actually access and utilize them in the creation of your personal life, and thereby creating anew this planet, this earth, this system, this interrelated, interdependent, interconnected system of human and earth, of nature and all its many threads, along with the cosmos. If you at all follow astrology, I'm going to read to you from one of the amazing sources that I access. And excuse me, her name is Alice Prejean, and I find her on Substack, which I encourage everyone to do so. I will put my Substack address down at the bottom, because I am going to be writing and doing a lot more over there, and even offering weekly events and courses, etc. And her business name is Astro Labyrinth, which of course appeals to me. Those of you who have come and walked the labyrinth, and if you have not, please contact me and we can set something up. I have, along with cooperation from many sources, have developed or built and deepened a labyrinth in my backyard. So please look her up. She's amazing. I think she taps into not only the astrological level, but also the human level. And one of the things that she brought up with yesterday's new moon, those of you who weren't aware, yesterday at 12, I think it is 12 something, 12:11 East Coast time, we moved into a new moon. And we are going to be in a particular lunar cycle of Pluto for many months. And for 6 months. I'm looking at her right now. I wanted to read something from her work this week, what she published. And she's saying all old memories, whether our own or of the collective, familial, and ancestral current, old ideas of who we should be, could be, the constituents of an old frame of mind or societal template that has shaped our creative story. Whatever it is, there's some intriguing elements to this lunation for us to go the distance internally and to uncover what is new but was always there. So I thought that was really fascinating as I was preparing for today. This came across my desk. I don't, I have things arranged, and that's what I wish for, and that's one of the goals for my clients is as you access more of you, as you have more of you, as you are interconnected with your own internal web, nature's web comes online for you, the cosmic web comes online, all of the helpers and energetics and beings that are connected through those webs come online, i.e., you have access to. Which means that almost before you can speak a request, almost before you are wondering about something, almost before a sentence, a question sentence is formed, the answers are there. The helpers are there. The signs of where to go. The actual clues or pieces of information that will enable you to have this experience or to reach something or to know something is right there. I've spoken of it often as the constant soul ticker tape that goes on. And it's unique to you. But we have forgotten how to actually speak and hear and understand that language. So when I'm working with clients, a large part of this work is relearning, because we come in with that language. That is our primary language for quite a long time. But we shut it down for various reasons that I've spoken about in other videos. And we have to relearn or open the channels of communication within to those parts of us. And that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about the internal web. We have many parts of us, many aspects of us. And when we learn how to incorporate more of them on a daily basis, it automatically turns on. It's like turning on the universal wide web. If we don't go online, whether on our phones or computers or what have you, we don't have access to the information that is on that web, right? The www. But when we open our computer or open our phones, we are immediately able to access that. And so too, the more you know yourself, the more you have yourself, the more parts of you that you have re-established connection, communication, and communion with, the more you are able to be, not only have access to that information, but literally, like AI, you are adjusting that information with every transmutation, with every transfiguration. You are literally feeding that information into the human web for its evolution. So if at any moment of any day you are feeling less than, or you made a mistake, or in any way negative towards yourself, please, 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 please call this forth. You are the AI that is moment to moment writing this reality. Writing, as in not wrong right, but WRITE. So please, I honor you deeply for all the work that you are doing, but if you find, as I said, that you've done a great deal of work and you are in a moment of, I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want this thing in my life this way anymore. I refuse to be subject to what is happening around me. Please call me. As I said, I'm happy to hop on a 30-45 minute call with you and bring some clarity and some widening. And if you find that you really want to go to the root of the root, then we can look at possibilities there. In the meantime, I really encourage you to get involved. Get involved in whatever way, shape, or form in your country, in your state, in your county, in your township. Because as you do so, you are weaving anew the town, county, state, country, planet that you want to live in and leave for those that come behind. I'm going to try to post some of the articles of the universal wide web, or rather the galactic webbing and the universal webbing that has been recently found. I may have mentioned it a few weeks ago when it first came across my desk. I have access to a beautiful and very readable article that I'll try to post here. And I want you to be aware of the ways in which nature's web, let me put it this way, the extent and breadth of nature's web in the world. So when there's a lot of talk about housing and there's not enough housing. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I have my own perspective on that. But as they are clearing places and building more houses, we are destroying ourselves because they clear cut. And when clear cutting occurs, it is not just the destruction of the trees. There is an entire ecosystem and habitat, multiple habitats that go along with that. So not only are you destroying all of those habitats for the birds, the critters, the insects, but moreover, we are destroying the mycelium that underlies those environments and habitats. And the mycelium are mushrooms, but underground there is a massive web similar to this universal web that has been recently photographed, actually. And it's not photographed, I don't know if they used infrared or what have you, you'll see in the article. But it is similar. So when we are clear cutting and we destroy that under soil or underground web, we are tearing pieces out of the interconnectedness and the interrelatedness and the interdependence of those natural environments upon which we depend and are interrelated and interconnected and interdependent. So please be aware of that. If you find it happening in your township, those of you who know, here on Facebook, I've posted about several different meetings in different townships. I have friends who, even, within the past 10 days, their insurance company came in and forced them to cut down a beautiful environment of bushes and that has taken them decades to create. And the fact that an insurance company can dictate what we have on our land and don't have on our land that we are stewards of must cease. And it will not cease by hoping or expecting the industry to change. Not going to happen. We as individuals will change that, have the potential to change that, must change that, along with all of these other institutions, corporate conglomerates that are unsustainable. They are old, old, old structures that we are now no longer, there's nothing more to study. We have explored this to its fullest extent. This pyramidal structure, this patriarchal structure, this very few holding all the power and the resources, and everyone else being suppressed and controlled and dominated. It's old. But, as I mentioned earlier, we are still doing this to ourselves. And that can't change until this changes. Until we are no longer destroying ourselves, stopping ourselves from expansion and newness. So, just looking at some of the other resources that I wanted to bring forward today. Another thing, along with the lines of watching what's going on in your environment, in the International Court of Justice this past week, there has been a decision made, and it's been voted upon and it's being implemented, that will allow for, in the International Court in The Hague, it will allow for lawsuits to emitters and large entities that have caused great harm to the environment, or have actually caused or stepped back from the global warming goal of keeping the planet to 1.5 degrees centigrade that was outlined by the Paris Agreement decades ago. So governments can be sued, individuals can be sued. There is forward movement. And yet at the same time, I have innumerable articles, which again, I'll try to post, of so many different green programs being pulled back, by countries, by companies, wind and solar being cut, reduced, stopped, projects that were going to be going in motion forward for particularly wind and solar, but a lot of other green initiatives as well. And, it's an attempt to go back to petroleum and coal and gas and all of those filthy resources causing microplastics, etc., etc. But they can be owned. They can be controlled. Markets, whether it's rare earth minerals, whether it's a particular stone or metal that has to be utilized, these can be owned. And so then, therefore, this is the last ditch effort of this old pyramidal structure to own the world and keep enslaved the people to that benefit. It's not going to happen. But in the meantime, there is this push. So green energy is being pushed aside, regulations for pesticides and um, deadly chemicals that are cheaper to make and that companies can utilize for their industry. We also have the backing down here in the United States of the EPA regulations on air pollution. These are actually happening. And again, I'm going to do my darndest to try, because I have it on 3 different sources, to get some of these articles, just list them so that you can see. This isn't just something general. There are very specific in very specific states, in very specific countries. And our country here in the United States more than any right now. So, and it seems insurmountable. It seems as if, we have at this moment very little control over what's going on in our government by decision makers, etc. But that's not true. We are the underlying web. The people around the world are the underlying web. And when we make choices, we are reweaving that web of finances, of inter-country trading, of the way we do things, exchange of information. We are the ones that actually have the potential, the power to design this human earth reality web, and the old will fall away. That often I've given that example of the pyramid. Excuse me. The pyramid. And as that base widens and widens and widens, it quite naturally, the top falls in. So please feel your significance. Feel the purposefulness of not only your presence here on this planet, but your very particular wounds, issues, challenges, because those are very vital parts of this web. You're in charge of this little area of the web, and when you do you and transmute and transfigure, you're reweaving, rewriting, redesigning the web behind and under this reality. Yes, you do have that much power. Yes, you do have that much say-so. Yes, you are the designer, not the victim, in any way, shape, or form. So, without further ado, I am going to ask the nature beings, the plant and tree and flower beings, through them, nature masters speak and give us a message today. Those of you who have known that I work with therapeutic grade essential oils for over 25 years, and it would be my great joy and honor to help you learn how to access your own intuitive abilities through these masters, and for your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic help. because these oils are made in such a way that it still maintains the beingness and the chi of the plant, which is why when I ask them, they are so willing and wanting to join us and speak to us. And I do this with my eyes closed, and there is they tell me where that would be going on the body if you were here in person, and from that I interpret the quality of or the characteristics of the oil, where it's going on the system, and therefore put it into English language. So the first oil that is coming to us today is an oil I've had for very long. As you can see, the label is torn off completely because I've had it that long. These oils last very long because you only need a drop. And this is going on your core, and what they are inviting is, or saying, is that as you access the deep wisdom of the essence of you, it will allow you to tap your life and your sense of your place in the world. Thereby enabling you to fulfill your destiny by standing in that truth, by utilizing your pure will to fulfill that destiny, not your strength of will or distortion of will. And in this way, experiencing the nobility of your passion and power and creativity. Allowing you to love that essence of you through your direct line of communication to your soul, through your innate. Excuse me, some of these are a little bit difficult to access. Anchoring in your dreams. And having reverence, therefore, having reverence for your own heart's desires. Beautiful message. So as you access, or as you allow the deep wisdom within the essence of you to come forth, it will enable you to feel and experience the sweet aroma of you, your life, your sense of yourself. Allowing you to utilize your pure will to fulfill your destiny, realizing the nobility within your passion and power and creativity, to allow your very essence, the love of your own essence, to be guided through and by your direct line of communication to your soul, anchoring in your dreams, and holding thereby reverence, holding reverence for your heart's desires. So those of you who want to settle in at this point, we're going to do a bit of a deep dive which means that all that is here for us cosmically in nature today, in all the different aspects that were mentioned. We have the beautiful masters of nature with us through the oils. Spider has been very, very present in many ways this week. You may have found the same. Including a friend that posted this morning on Facebook a picture of one of those absolutely perfect spider webs when the light hits it in just such a way that it was approximately, I would say, about this large. So the extent, I'm hoping that each one of you have had the opportunity to see one of those magnificent and, just iridescent, sparkling, shimmering webs before any harm has come to it, and you can see the full extent of the weaving. And I just realized the outfit that I chose today, because it's very, very hot. I chose something with open work that is completely woven, as well as actually my pants are woven, network webbing, if you will. I love how things are arranged for me. There was no consciousness, just this is what I want to wear today, this is what I'm guided to wear, and here I am again with the web. We also have, there is a particular, it's more of an intergalactic force that has presented itself. It is extremely hot, even in the universe's standards. And so you may feel, as we're dropping in, as we're going internally, you may feel a great deal of heat. It's beneficial. It will allow for not only the firing up of things within you, but moreover the burning off of different, actually it showed itself more in working with the cells and the different structures within a cell. So it may be burning off some of the cellular waste and toxicity within your system. And as always, we have the Master Gatekeeper that is with us every time, opening all doors, portals, passageways, and bridges that can in any way benefit us, and closing tightly all doors, portals, passageways, and bridges that can in any way cause harm. And I invite you to call upon your individual gatekeeper. Perhaps you know their name, perhaps you call upon a figure within history, mythology, character from books, cartoons, anything. My gatekeeper came to be many decades ago, but oftentimes is assisted by Heimdall, which is, or kind of incorporates and becomes Heimdall, which is the Norse mythology gatekeeper. Y'all may know him from Thor and some of the Marvel movies. Idris Elba plays that part beautifully. And you can call upon your own individual gatekeeper to open all avenues, portals that can benefit you, and ask them to close all doors, portals, passageways, avenues, whatever you want to call them, that can in any way cause harm to you and yours. We have a lot of electronic infiltration right now, and that's very invasive. It can be very harmful. It's not only from a human level, but another article that I hope to post is about around the equator. There have been seen bubbles or openings within our atmosphere, within our ionosphere, that allows some of the radiation from the sun to break through, which, if you've noticed problems with your GPS, your computers, part of that is that. I know a lot of people are blaming Mercury retrograde, but it isn't necessarily. That's really not Mercury's purpose. That is not its identity. So we keep repeating that so it has strength, just like if you keep repeating to yourself, I am stupid, it will be so. So please expand your knowledge a little bit about Mercury. It is one of our greatest assistants and helpers, so it is absolutely here. If you know, it's also been referred to as Quicksilver, and that means that it assists us in being able to make changes very quickly, very deeply. So it is always part of everything that I do, and a key component in alchemy, and that's what we're doing here. There is a very particular sacred geometric configuration that began forming days ago as I was preparing for this talk today, even more so this morning. Those who attend at any point in time are also part of that configuration. Those that regularly, however you want to frame that, listen to or tap into this work, you're already within the universal, the Healer's Universe web, and you are receiving transmissions if you give permission. If you've been a former client, former student, what have you, again, you are still within that web and can tap into and receive the transmissions on a regular basis. And again, please visit me on Substack, because I'm going to be doing things more on a daily basis, weekly basis, as well as different types of gatherings and groups, so that you can more powerfully receive and incorporate the current energetics. And again, those who have learned how to do this process of dropping in may actually feel or be experiencing the transmission right now of energetics, and there's nothing you need to do. There's no method. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to throw out the window for the moment being any previous methods of meditation that you utilize, and try something different. Try something new. And you can do that by simply saying to yourself or out loud. When we voice something and it comes in sound, it is more powerful. But if you're in a space where you can't verbalize, then please say to yourself, I am asking and I am allowing my body. I am asking and I am allowing my energy field I am asking and I am allowing my wider self, which is your soul self. I am asking and I am allowing my emotional body. I am asking and I am allowing my guides, teachers, masters. I am asking and I am allowing all parts of me to join me here and now, assisting me, guiding me, leading me, helping me to drop down and within me. From there is nothing you need do. Your energy field and your body know how to do this. The only thing you can do is when you feel yourself doing, leading, thinking, seeing, envisioning, accessing through your third eye, to simply say to yourself once again, I am asking and I am allowing. And feel yourself in any way. Feel whatever there is to feel initially, and then simply allow your curiosity. No need to track, no need to analyze, no need to name, no need to figure out, no need to remember, no need to take notes. On the contrary, all of those methods go up through the brain, and we are inviting the other parts of you so that you may join them in traveling your inner verse. Just breathe. Breathe normally, breathe at your pace. And if you so choose, to simply feel the breath, whether it's through your nostrils, whether it's moving through your lungs, whether you may even have sensitivity enough to feel it moving through your circulatory system. But no need to work at all. Just feel, and even if you can't feel, allow. Allow yourself to be in an open, curious, allowing state. And I invite you to not even feel the need to follow any of my words, for it is the energetic transmission that is going directly to your system. But oftentimes people can pick it up and feel the energetics through my voice. But let your brain go. If it engages, keep coming back to experience your breath. And if you so choose to breathe a little deeper and extend the exhale much longer than that inhale, it very quickly brings you to and in you. So I'm really feeling the mushroom kingdom, the mycelium, this extensive communication network all over the globe. Allowing for an interchange of information, of soil, habitats, species of flora, fauna, insects, means by which Mother Nature can adjust, correct, regulate and balance. Just as our own physical network of communication within our bodies, the nervous system, you may feel sensations, movement, heat, tingling, energy, perhaps even your sensitivity allows for the experience of organs or tissues or even the cells themselves. Just as the earth, our bodies are self-correcting systems, when we do not destroy or impede again, nothing you need do, simply allow, simply receive, simply feel, simply experience. The essence wisdom. Crisis, chaos, destruction, all occur so that creation, newness, expansion, has space. Huge influx of life force, that you may experience in a wide variety of ways. Perhaps a warmth throughout your body. A lot of toxicity and toxins are being actually transmuted, not merely expelled. That conversion is now feeding different systems within your body and energy field. This fiery energy, no surprise, as we are in the time of Leo. Here on the East Coast, high summer, moving into August. And you may be experiencing kind of integrating, encompassing of all that's gone on. And as always, you're welcome to stay in these energetics and just keep allowing yourself to experience and benefit from. Or if you so choose at this point to allow, please follow the lead of your energy field and your body in its wisdom of how and at what pace and what speed and in what way is most ideal for you. I know so often in different meditation practices. People tell you to open your eyes or move your fingers. No, that is not necessarily your way. Please follow your way, your timing, your system's best methods of moving from what perhaps was a less physical experience back to a more physical experience in this 3D realm. Please come back and look below this video in the comments here on Facebook. Please go to A Healer's Universe YouTube channel. I'm going to try to list a lot of those articles there. And please find me on Substack. It's a wonderful platform for freedom of expression and complete lack of algorithm and pushing any way in any form. So again, it's ahealersuniverse.substack.com. I'm going to put it on here again, and the YouTube channel is A Healer's Universe also. And please reach out. I'm scheduling summertime right now is a little bit looser, flexible scheduling for the 30 to 45 minute mini sessions, and those I offer free, and hopefully you can benefit from that and see where you want to go from there. In the meantime, please know always it is with the deepest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on this planet. Until next time, be well.